Hey guys, it is Jessi, and today I have a review for you guys that I'm really excited about. I'm finally getting this video to you guys. I've been trying to get it out for a couple days now, and I'm finally sitting down and just making it work. So happy Memorial Day, and I'm excited to be bringing this video to you guys. It is on Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, and it is not only a book review, but I will also be doing the like film or book to film like adaptation of it. And I actually just won this movie tie-in cover recently, and it arrived on Friday, so I'm really excited. And again, I'm just really looking forward to sharing my thoughts and opinions on both of these. I'm going to go ahead and start with just the book review and kind of talk to you guys a little bit about this. If you know nothing about Everything Everything, it is about a girl who is 17 years old, has this disease where she is basically, or an illness that she's basically allergic to literally everything, and like I said, she's 17 years old and has like never left the house. So, you know, things start to change when a neighbor moves in next door, and his name is Ollie, and they kind of like develop this bond. And so it's a super adorable YA contemporary like romance, and it's cute and it's funny, and I just really enjoyed it. It's a quick read as well, mainly because it shows like little peeks into like her journal or some like little like sketches and just fun stuff like that, which turns out the author's husband did. So that was really cool. So yeah, it was definitely like emotional, made you feel a lot of things. It was funny. I was giddy. It was like this cute like first love kind of thing. So I just really loved it. I adored the writing style of this, between the like little clip art and journal entries. The characters, especially Ollie, was like, oh, I loved him and his character. You know, the message behind it all, the diversity in it. I think the only thing that kind of had me like a little irritated or peeved right at the end was the actual ending itself. I really wanted a little bit more. I felt like it should have been dragged out. There was a portion with the mom that I was like, yeah, that resolved a little too quickly. And then of course there's a part with like Ollie that just happened a little bit, and I needed that extended just to really allow you to feel and connect with that moment a little bit more. Just wanted like more resolution overall, I think. Then there is a quote though, because I felt like it just left me wanting more. So then the quote from the book was basically that wanting just leads to more, and there's no end to the desire, which I totally agree with, because I could have just had more and more of this. It was just so fantastic, and like what an incredible like debut, right? Like amazing. So going back to the whole like diversity kind of themes that play out through here, there's like domestic violence, mental illness, you know, all of this is kind of touched upon, and then you have, of course, a main character of color, which is great. And I just think all these little things like rolled up into one package was so perfect. Literally everything about this I just absolutely enjoyed. I did give it 4 stars. I just wish, like I said, there was a little bit more resolution at the end. Otherwise, so fantastic. I would easily read this again in a heartbeat. I so loved it. So going a little bit further there, you know, it deals with love, taking risks, like finding yourself, and I really appreciated all these other like kind of underlying themes, and I just really feel like it also had like a twist that I didn't really see coming. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it definitely wasn't what happened, so that was kind of a nice surprise out of this. Then of course there's like relationships between the mother and the daughter, which I thought was portrayed so well through the first half, and you could really connect and relate to, because I love my mom, and I think moments like that you really are going to cherish. So that was really cool. Being able to see them kind of get torn apart a little bit was devastating, and of course them kind of like, I can't even like reconcile, there you go, like kind of like getting back into things was a nice touch as well. But I do feel like Carla was a little bit more of like a motherly figure, and a bigger part of influence in her life, and I wish I had seen just a little bit more of it, because I absolutely loved what was there. Definitely think it could have gone like another step further, but Carla was awesome, and such like a supportive, loving like person in her life, where I feel like the mom almost gave her too much of that like doctor-patient kind of feel, and maybe not quite enough of the motherly, especially as things start to develop with the neighbor Ollie next door. But overall, I loved the characters, the writing, the story, the adventure. It was all just so much fun. It was funny, and just, oh, I loved it. So going back to the whole like sketches, the IMs, the journal entries, all of that stuff, I feel like it added so much to the story. I felt like you got like an extra little glimpse into like her mind, and like what was going on in her like teenage brain, and actually what she was thinking and feeling. And so being able to see it all play out in different like technology kind of ways was really cool and interesting. I also loved her, obviously, that she was like a book reviewer, so she would read books and write short reviews, and then her concept on like reading books backwards. So once she would get through, then go backwards through it and how it changes the whole story and kind of premise of everything, which I thought was so intriguing and interesting. And now I'm kind of curious to give it a try, but I'm not sure if I would really want to, if it would change things so much, you know, like what I'm saying, if it would change it and make you think differently about the whole book if you read it the other way. I also think it would be kind of confusing sometimes, but I think it's an interesting concept. The other thing that was really cool is this is such a quotable book. There were so many lines in here that I was just like, yes, like you could literally just make so many fun little, like, I don't even know, like anything. Like there was just so many quotable moments that I absolutely loved and adored, and I know I'm getting carried away with that L word here, but I really did love it and enjoy it. I think it was just super, super cute. I think it was a bit cheesy at times. I almost feel like, okay, so on like the movie Friends with Benefits, at the end when they always like talk about in the movies how there's like the cheesy ending with the happy music to make you feel like super good and giddy and, you know, like kind of, yeah, so I feel like that's kind of what was happening. I feel like things kind of got rushed and they just threw like a happy moment at the ending just to leave you on that happy note when I could have been extended a little bit. So definitely a little bit cheesy at times, but so cute, so much fun, so funny. Loved it. Definitely recommend this. Again, it's really great. I love the 4 stars. I just wish there was just a teeny bit more at the end. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch over to the like movie like adaptation of this book, which I thought was really great. I know some people are saying it's, you know, not quite as good, but I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna start off with the things that I didn't enjoy as much and wish would have been done differently or a little bit stronger or left out completely. I don't really know where they would have fit in, but these are the things that I didn't like. First off, I think the biggest one for me was the fact that like Ollie's family had this domestic violence issue, and it definitely talked about it more in the book. Didn't talk about it as much in the movie, and I feel like I needed more of that to actually have been like talked about or like giving you more glimpses into, because I feel like he briefly touches on it, but not enough to the fact that when something actually happens in the movie, and it was super cheesy, that scene like was kind of made me laugh out loud, like it was kind of a terrible little moment, but I think we needed more of that to actually connect and feel more with Ollie in those moments, because I don't feel like it was done enough, where the book I definitely felt like super sympathetic and, you know, just totally felt for him, and I didn't feel that way in the movie. The other thing was the fact that, and this is a spoiler if you guys haven't read or watched this, so definitely tune out right now before I continue, but I'm gonna tell you guys, when she sneaks out of the house and goes to meet Ollie and she climbs up on the roof and he's building like the solar system for her, like that melted my heart, and I thought it was such a cute moment. And there was a part in the movie that I thought was gonna happen and it didn't happen, and I was like kind of bummed. I was like, I didn't think it was that big of a moment when I read the book, but I was kind of hoping it was gonna be there. So like I said, I was a little bit let down when that didn't actually happen. The last thing, again, goes back to the ending. I really loved the whole bookshop ending in this book, and I felt like it wasn't as good in the movie. I was really hoping for a little more because, again, spoilers, so if you're still watching, please tune out. Like, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, go now, get, shoo. Okay, but otherwise, this ending, like, I loved that she had the copy on there with the front cover that was like, you know, if found, please return, and here's like the rewards you get. Like, I love that it was already sitting on the shelf and he comes across it and then she pops out, where I feel like now he's like just browsing the shop and she's like just coming in and they kind of see each other. I thought it was cute how it still ended, but definitely loved the book version, so I almost kind of wanted it to play out more like that. But okay, so going back to the things that I loved, because I really did like this movie. I think it's been a long time since I was that excited about a book to movie adaptation. Like, I loved The Fault in Our Stars. It did not let me down like in any way, and I feel like this was so close to that I was so excited. I was like talking about it all night and like still part of the next day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I like can't wait to rave with people about this. So I actually don't know anybody here that has gone to see it, so I can't talk to everybody. So I'm hoping that people out there on the internet, you guys have seen it and you guys will like share my thoughts and opinions and we can talk about it, because I would love to talk about more of it. But some of the stuff that I really loved is obviously, I know I mentioned in the book review, the fact that she reads and reviews books. I mean, hello, duh, like that's what we all do, so I'm so excited like that was played in there. I really liked that part and how they kind of showed her on the blog a little bit or reading in certain parts, and I thought that was, you know, a nice little touch, especially kind of like a homage to the book. Okay, and let's see, the next thing I really liked were the actors. I thought both of them were so perfect. Before I even started reading it, I started seeing the movie trailer, so I kind of already knew what the characters would look like before I read it, so I didn't get like that full like picture, or I didn't get to create them in my mind about what I thought they should look like, so I definitely wasn't disappointed. But Nick definitely like was perfect for that role, and I absolutely loved it, and I was so happy it was him. I thought he did such a great job in it, and I absolutely loved his character on top of all of it. Like, he was so sweet and so funny and so cute, and just, I loved it, and his humor, like, just, it was just awesome. So I loved the characters and the acting. I thought it was really well done. Then you have the music, which I thought the soundtrack to this was incredible. I love Alabama Shakes, and the sound and color was just amazing, especially in that moment. So the whole, like, music track, the soundtrack, like, was just so good, so perfect. They did a killer job on that. The other thing was, let's see, the cinematography was incredible. Like, I loved how sharp and clean and crisp it was when she was inside the house, and the second that she kind of steps out, spoiler again for those of you that are still watching, when she gets out, the way that everything is so like overwhelming and becomes like more blurred and rushed and so overwhelming like to her, I felt like that was the perfect touch to help really convey what she's seeing, what she's feeling, how she's dealing with it all. The drone shots were incredible. Like, I seriously just loved the cinematography, and it flowed so perfectly. It was amazing. And lastly, my two favorite things about this was, one, the astronaut, and two, the way that the text messages and all of that were kind of shown. So the astronaut, if you guys, again, haven't read the book or anything like that, she incorporates, Maddie incorporates this little, gosh, I'm drawing a blank, astronaut into all of her like architecture models. And so there's like one scene in particular where she puts him inside this like diner, and that's like their first conversation together is inside this diner. So the astronaut, which I did not expect at all to have like some sort of role, and there was an actual astronaut in their like text and IM scenes, and I thought that was really funny, and he was actually hilarious as well. So it was just kind of funny, and I loved that little touch and that little aspect of it. I thought it was just, you know, one extra step over the top that just really, you know, was humorous and kind of made me like giggle a lot. So that was really cool. But going to like their actual text scenes, I thought it was really cool that it instead of, you know, they're texting from her house and her house, so they're separate, and the fact that they get put in together and the color and stuff kind of shifts a little, so you kind of pick up on it. But the fact that it looks like they're sitting face to face at this diner and having this actual conversation together versus actually separate, and it's these texts, I thought was such a creative and like out of the box way to go about it, and I totally appreciated the creative like take on it, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool and unique, and I haven't seen stuff done like that before, because normally they just put the text kind of up and you have to read through it, and while it does a little bit of that, it mostly drops you into these scenes where they look like they're together, and like Maddie's kind of imagining what it would be like for them to be together. So I just really, really love that. I think that was literally one of my favorite things about that, is how it was just done during the movie. So I thought that was really cool. Again, the movie was even cheesier than the book a little bit, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so cute and sweet, and again, perfect little like summer kind of vibe thing. So definitely check it out if you guys haven't. So if you guys liked this version of the video where I do the book review and the adaptation kind of together, let me know, leave a thumbs up, that way I can be sure to do more of these in the future. And if you guys have seen this, definitely let me know below to comment and let me know if you guys liked it, if you didn't like it, what were your favorite parts, because I think there was so many different like creative takes on things and stuff that was just different that I really enjoyed. So I'd like to know if you guys felt the same way about it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you guys again soon. I hope you have a great Memorial Day, and I will, yeah, see you soon. Bye, you guys.